The film begins with Sophia and Alex arriving at Alex's family home. Sophia is trying to help her husband remember anything at all after he suffered an accident for which she feels responsible. They were standing in front of the car, and Alex was joking with her. She pushed him away playfully, and at that exact moment a car passed by and hit him in the head, causing brain cell damage. Since then, his behavior has become very strange. He doesn't speak and acts like a child. They are greeted by Brooks, Alex's cousin, who brings their luggage inside and shows them around the house. He tells them that the housekeeper has left and that his sister will come to clean the place, though she doesn't know how to cook. He then asks Sophia if they should put the luggage in one room. She hesitates for a moment, then agrees. After he leaves, she moves Alex's bags into another room and stays alone in her room, trying to make Alex remember something from his past in the house. However, he pulls his hand away from her and goes to sleep on the bed. Despite everything, Sophia hasn't lost hope, even though all the doctors believe his condition is hopeless. Sophia goes to bed, but notices that something has moved. She gets up to check whether Alex has left the bed, but finds him still there. She then enters another room and notices a painting. As she studies it closely, she discovers it dates back to 1937 and was painted by Calvin Dubois as a self-portrait. She is shocked because the face in the painting looks exactly like her husband, Alex. The story then jumps back to 1937. We see a man dragging a woman by her hair across the ground. When she manages to break free, he punches her in the face and continues beating her mercilessly. At the same time, Calvin is finishing his painting. We return to the present, where Sophia wakes up terrified from a nightmare that keeps haunting her, the idea that she is the reason behind her husband's illness. She jumps up and runs, and when she comes back home, she imagines Alex moving and sees him through the window. But when she goes upstairs, she finds him asleep, leaving her deeply confused. Later, she sits with Alex and shows him photos, trying to trigger his memory, but he gets agitated and knocks the pictures away. At that moment, someone passes by them, and Alex notices it. Shortly after, Mags, Alex's cousin, comes out from inside and surprises them. She approaches Alex and tells him that they have a way to bring him back, and that he will keep coming back again and again. She then talks to Sophia about her great-grandfather and how he built the mansion, and about her grandmother who hated her, yet still allowed her to stay in the opposite wing of the house. Mags asks Sophia if she was frightened when she saw her, and whether she was expecting someone else to appear in the house. Sophia hesitates, then tells her there is no one else there, and that she was only surprised when Mags came in. Later, Sophia lays out the toys Alex used to play with as a child, hoping they will help him remember something. Alex suddenly recognizes one particular toy, picks it up, and stares at it for a long time. Sophia is overjoyed. That night, Sophia writes in her journal that Alex was able to remember a toy. She plays music and starts dancing happily. Alex is awake but seems afraid of something. Sophia goes up to the room with the painting, dances in front of it, and speaks aloud, saying that they were right, that she understands more than the doctors who said there was no hope, because they've achieved something now. She says she loves him deeply and that soon he will be back to the way he was. Suddenly, she runs downstairs after hearing something break. When she gets there, she finds Alex standing next to the broken object. She tries to comfort him and tells him it's not a big deal, but he leaves her and walks away. The next morning, Sophia comes downstairs and sees Alex sitting with Brooks, eating. She sits next to him and tries to reassure him. After that, she goes on the computer and searches for Calvin. She discovers that he was a famous artist and scientist with many exhibitions. She looks at several photos of him, but one picture deeply unsettles her. She quickly closes the computer and walks away. Alex watches her and follows her. They arrive at Mags's house, where they encounter a strange woman standing outside who asks if they have any food. They are surprised by her, and Sophia tells her they don't have anything, but she allows her to come inside. Mags sits with them and treats the girl Sophia met as if she were a small dog, gently patting her on the head. Sophia shows Mags the painting she found and tells her it looks exactly like Alex. Mags explains that art can be interpreted in many ways, not just one, and that's why Sophia sees Alex in the painting. But does it really look like him? She then tells her about Calvin, explaining that he was a very famous artist and scientist. Everyone knew of him, but no one liked him because of his terrible reputation. He was known for harming women. One day, a maid he was deeply attached to came into his life, and he painted her everywhere. Suddenly, her husband died from grief, and Calvin became even more obsessed with her. One day, he went to her house, beat her, and assaulted her in front of her lover. He dragged her for a long distance and kept beating her, then hid in the upstairs room. When the police broke down the door, he was gone. Everyone thought he had escaped, but in reality, he simply vanished. Mags explains that the entire Dubois family suffered from extreme possessiveness. When Calvin realized the woman was no longer his, he decided to take revenge on her and others. Sophia asks if that was the last time anyone saw him. Mags replies that he was never seen again, except in the painting. Sophia doesn't understand what she means and says the painting was still wet. Of course, Sophia doesn't believe her and gets up to leave. At that moment, she notices a pair of binoculars, and Mags tells her she has never seen them before. At night, Sophia stands in front of the glass window, lost in thought. She then turns off the light and heads to bed, but suddenly notices a shadow passing in front of her. She goes back and turns the light on to see who is there, and she finds Esther. Esther comes in and talks to her, saying she is very afraid of Mags because she tells her extremely frightening stories. Sophia is convinced that all the stories Mags tells are not real, but Esther pulls out some papers and shows her that all the crimes actually happened, and that both the maid and her lover were found murdered in 1937. What's even stranger is that in 1942 the same incident happened to the wife of a wounded soldier. She fell down the stairs and her neck was broken. Of course, Sophia ignores all of this and says she didn't see anything, that there is no one in the house, and that everything they are saying is just nonsense. Esther leaves, and when she reaches Mags, she tells her there was no point and that she couldn't get anything out of Sophia. Later, Sophia finds a newspaper clipping on the floor. It belongs to a fortune teller who claimed that the killer was the missing artist. She goes upstairs and stands in front of the painting, talking to it, and notices that it moves slightly. She places her hand on it, and finds that it is actually still wet, just as Mags had said. She is horrified when the painting moves off the wall as if it's trying to attack her. Sophia immediately runs away and tells her friend Emily everything that's been happening. Emily explains that things would be easier for her if she had someone in her life to share everything with. But Sophia gets upset when Emily, speaking as a psychologist, tells her that there is a condition known as unhealthy grief, in which the patient imagines many unrelated things. Sophia hangs up on her, extremely upset. After that, Sophia goes out with Alex and they head to the supermarket. She gets out to buy a few items, while Alex listens to a song in the car that he used to love. He starts getting agitated. At that moment, his friend Jane arrives, sees him, and wants to check on him, but he doesn't respond. Suddenly, he revs the car and drives off on his own. Jane follows him, Sophia panics, and she runs after them. Alex suddenly lashes out and punches Jane in the face and nose, making her bleed heavily. She doesn't understand why Alex is treating her that way, and she doesn't know that he has forgotten everything. They return home, and Alex wants to fight with Brooks, but Sophia steps between them. She then goes inside and begs Brooks to help her understand whether Alex's condition has any hope or not. She tells him she's willing to do anything as long as Alex gets better. Brooks leaves her and walks away, and she breaks down in tears. Later, Sophia takes out the trash and Brooks tells her that if she wants to talk about anything, he's there for her. She asks him to come to her that night. He does, and he tries to get her to believe again, but she's drunk and tries to kiss him. He completely stops her, gets very angry, and tells her that faith will help with everything. After he leaves, Sophia goes into the kitchen, breaks a glass, and cries even harder, regretting what she almost did. She goes outside and sees Alex awake, standing there. As soon as he sees her, he becomes furious, grabs her by the neck, and throws her to the ground, about to continue attacking her. She begs him to stop, and he finally leaves. She falls asleep and dreams that Alex is choking her. When she wakes up, she finds actual choke marks on her neck. Terrified, she runs to Alex to wake him, but he is already awake. She runs downstairs and calls Emily, telling her they're coming back and that she really does seem to have the condition Emily mentioned. She looks for Brooks, and it's discovered that he has been beaten to death. The police arrive, and Jane arrives as well. Jane suspects Alex because he has become violent, and something may have happened between them that led Alex to take revenge. Sophia denies all of it, saying she knows this family well, that they are very wealthy and capable of doing anything with their money. Even so, Jane wants to take Alex into custody because she believes he is dangerous and could hurt Sophia. Sophia begs her to let him go, insisting that she is willing to take the risk with him. Sophia watches the police cordon off the crime scene and sees a police car outside. Alex stands in front of the painting and screams at the top of his lungs. At the same time, Sophia runs, completely devastated, collapses on the ground, and continues crying. When she returns home, she is utterly destroyed. Emily calls her, but she doesn't answer. Alex notices what's happening. That night, Sophia grabs a knife and goes to the painting, intending to cut it, but she changes her mind and places the knife on the table. She's completely unfocused. Suddenly, something passes in front of her. She realizes the knife is gone, looks at the painting, and finds that it has completely disappeared. She panics, feels weak, and calls out to Alex, telling him she's in the house. She sees someone standing behind the door and assumes it's Alex, but when she gets closer, the person slashes her in the face with the knife. She runs away, but he catches up to her and seriously wounds her. She struggles down the stairs and sees him sitting at the bottom. She reaches out her hand to him, but he grabs it and stabs her toward the heart. She collapses on the stairs, crying over what he did to her. At that moment, Alex regains his awareness once again and is horrified by what has happened. He is deeply shaken and distressed. Sophia gets up and tells him that nothing happened. She takes the knife from him, then stabs him in the back, killing him. All night long, the officer had his headphones on, watching a movie, and didn't hear anything that happened in the house. The next morning, he gets out of his car, walks toward the house, looks through the window, writes down what he sees, and then runs to report it. Jane arrives, and the officer tells her that Sophia refused to let Alex go. Emily arrives at the scene, terrified for Sophia, but Jane doesn't allow her to go inside and makes her stay in her car. After Jane leaves, Emily is forced to get out and run toward her friend. When she enters the house, she is shocked to see Sophia holding her husband, deeply affected, saying that this is what he wanted. Some time later, Sophia is in a psychiatric hospital. Mags tells her that the family's lawyers took care of everything and that the matter has become a secret kept away from the press. But Mags still wants to know what really happened. Sophia laughs and tells her that Calvin was there for her, and that he helped her realize that Alex had to go. By then, Mags has gotten what she wanted and knows that Calvin is still in the house. She goes to an auction of old paintings and watches people bidding. A painting by Calvin Dubois comes up, and she is willing to spend all her money to buy it at any cost. A man sits next to her hooked up to N4. She buys the painting for $25,000. The painting depicts her husband sitting beside her. Mags smiles, clearly knowing the secret behind the painting. And here, our film comes to an end. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel.